Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the director from the Salvation Army of Troup County. And I hear a strong accent, but we are joined today by Lisa Martin. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Alton. It's a pleasure.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. Lisa, and I think I met you probably about a year or so ago down at Delavant. You were with one of our former council members, Norma Tucker.
Yes.
And of course, I immediately heard that accent. I said, of course, where are you from? So before we get started, tell everybody where you are from, Lisa, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm actually from Australia.
From Australia, all right.
Yes.
The land down under, right?
The land down under.
I've never been to Australia, but I would love to go someday. And now that I know some connections there, maybe I'll get that trip a little sooner. Okay. Lisa, you are now here today serving as the director for the Salvation Army. Talk a little bit about that, the role as the director, if you don't mind.
Okay. I have been on board in this position as the first director for 3 years in May, it will be.
Oh my, okay.
Sometimes that feels really quick, but other times it's very slow. Like, wow, really? 3 years? But we've achieved a great deal in that time. Prior to that, it was what was called a corps or a church, and the pastors or captains, etc., oversee, just like they do with a general church. And that transitioned just prior before me coming on board.
Okay, all right. Because I can remember I had on some of the captains a couple times that came on and talked about the location and things that you all were doing. And I'm going to talk, talk about a little bit about your service area, and then tell everybody where you're located. I know that they know, but I always want to get that out.
Okay. Well, when the transition happened, what was known as the thrift store on 202 Church Street, which is the next street over,
right?
As you know, because you've also been.
I've been there a couple of times.
You've shopped there with us a few times. I know we've taken some photos of some of your purchases when you visited us. That used to be the thrift store. Well, that transitioned to be the service centre. And what that means is we have a family store where people can come and buy reasonable household products, clothing, etc. For low income, people in great need. We also have vouchers where they can come and receive clothing, and they can also receive food. The other part of the service centre, of course, is social services. And again, as I've just explained, food, clothing, but we also assist with financial needs as well. Rental, utilities, and motel accommodation.
Yeah. I can remember I had a family member that had suffered a fire, and you all stepped in and assisted in those manners as well. So I do want to say thank you for that. Because, you know, when someone goes through a traumatic ordeal like that, and you think you've lost everything, and then you just find hope when there's organizations like Salvation Army, American Red Cross, not to name any, but those are the ones that immediately kind of rush in and make sure that people are put back together.
Yes.
You talked about me coming in and buying, so yeah, I find some deals there at times. I'm just going to be honest with you. Let's talk a little bit about donations. What are some of the things, and I know that right now you guys, you mentioned to me kind of busting at the seam. What are some of the things that you all can receive as donations from the public?
Well, basically, it's what we can't receive. It's probably easier. We don't take mattresses used unless how some companies will allow you to try out a mattress for 30 days or whatever, and then you decide maybe I don't want this. So something that's almost new, that's the exception. Generally, my assistant manager, Yvonne, who's also manages the store, whatever comes in, she checks it as it comes in just to make sure that it's okay. There's a number of baby children's items because of safety issues, whatever, we can't accept. But generally we accept most things. We don't accept old TVs or we've decided not to take computers, that type of electronic goods, because we can't test whether or not they're in working condition. And that's our heart, of course. We're there to help people. We don't want to give you something if we don't know it doesn't work.
That's right.
So we're not going to do that. We're just saying no to those types of donations.
Okay. Speaking of donations, I know that unfortunately last year, 2020, was not as clear a vision as we'd like for it to have been, but I do understand that it has been very profitable for the center. With people being confined and kind of quarantined or isolated and various things, they took the opportunity to clean out.
Yes.
And you have been recipient of that. Talk a little bit about the influx of donated items, if you don't mind.
Well, we were actually closed when COVID first hit. The staff were there, but we had to close the store and do thorough cleaning and reorganising, and that was for about 3.5, 4 months.
Okay.
And then when we reopened and advertised that we were open again for donations, I tell you, Alton, the cars, they were lined up right down the street and around the corner. And it was like that for about a month.
Oh my, okay.
Yes, because that's right, everyone was cleaning out and wanting to donate to us. We're also in the process with the advisory board. We've been looking to relocate.
Okay.
Because it's wonderful that we have such a giving community, but unfortunately we are bursting at the seams in every area. So that's what we are trying to transition to at the moment, to a new location.
Okay, all right. And I think in helping with that, you guys are opening the doors.
Yes.
And you're going to have what you are calling a spring clearance clear-out sale. Talk about that if you don't mind.
Well, we're in the process of bringing in an organisation that does this. That's their job. They mainly work with estate sales, but they also do some retail. So they've come on board with us, and generally, as most of our regulars know, you come into the store, you look around your shop, but this time they'll actually also be able to access the warehouse.
Oh, okay.
The entire warehouse will be set up as a sale room.
Oh, all right.
So there will be a lot of items and a lot of items that we generally don't have on the floor because not just only is it a giving community, Troup County gives good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have quite a lot of items that are quite expensive, which we haven't known what to do with. So they've been put in a cupboard. So when this sale goes on, because these people are specialists at pricing and knowing items and the value, etc., all of that's going to be out.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah.
So people can really find a bargain if
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And I know that you're looking at nailing down a date, but I don't think that has been solidified just yet. But we can hear more. I think it's scheduled for May sometime.
Well, yes, it was April, but now we have we've decided to step it back till May.
Oh, to May.
To give us more time to be able to set up as best as we can.
Well, very good. And it will be at the location.
And it will be at 202 Church Street.
Okay,
yes.
Very good. So we want to make sure that people don't miss out.
No.
You'll see my face in the place as well.
And just so you do know, it'll be from a Wednesday to the Saturday.
Okay, so Wednesday to Saturday.
Yes, the Monday and Tuesday we will be closed for setup, and then the sale will be from the Wednesday to the Saturday.
Okay.
We just haven't determined exactly the dates yet.
All right, so definitely when we get those dates, if you'll get that back to us, we'll make sure we help you get the word out as well. And you know, too, Lisa, I know that like you say, Troup County, LaGrange, surrounding area is always a very giving community. When there's a cause, I feel like the people really come together, rally for that cause, and even during last year, you guys were able to get out and still take advantage of some of the annual things that you all normally do for around the Christmas time. Everybody can remember the bell ringers.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that and how you all were able to assist children last year during the pandemic.
Yes. Yes, it was a very interesting year for many and emotionally hard. We also assisted the public health system and the hospital with getting out food boxes to people who were COVID positive. So when that first happened, it was very surreal and very emotional. And we had phone calls from many people needing help at this time who just didn't know where to go or just needed someone to talk to. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, yes, our motto is doing the most good. Mm-hmm. But when you walk in, you're not a number.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You're a person. And the first thing I do, and I make no, what's the word?
No quarrels about it.
That's right.
Okay, no quarrels about it.
I have to think sometime American.
I understand.
And that's where I'm a bit slow. I make no excuses for the fact that I'll pray for anybody. If anybody needs prayer, I will pray for you. Mm-hmm. And so will the staff. Mm-hmm. And that's what's wonderful, and a lot of people know that. Mm-hmm. So, that was hard. But then as the year went on and things started to bounce back, and even though it was still hard because we still had to be faced with these daily phone calls and assisting people, the balance was the giving. Mm-hmm. And that's my favourite time of year. That's the wonderful thing that I love about this community is the people's hearts to give to those in need. And yes, our Angel Tree program that we do in conjunction with Toys for Tots. We have a lot of companies come on board. They sponsor an angel, which is a child, and the employees buy these items and gifts for these kids. And then we also have Kia, who is awesome as well and gives us wonderful toys and donations, and the same with some other companies in West Point, help our West Point children, and it's just a wonderful time. Good. With such a hard year, to be able to see that giving back. Mm-hmm. And it also is the same with the bell ringing. It's not just people giving, it's the people who ring the bell.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have heard over and over again, oh my gosh, I didn't believe how wonderful this would be. People just come up, you're standing there ringing, and they just come up and talk to you.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a wonderful experience.
Wow. Well, and that's a very powerful testament to the Salvation Army and the volunteers and everyone and the directorship to be able to continue even during the time of a little bit of turmoil, of uncertainty, to be able to give back to. And I think you were telling me you were able to service about 400, as we close out here, about 400 children last year.
That's right.
From the bell ringing, and then even prior to that, you all had if you just touch on it real quickly for us, T-shirts for turkeys.
Oh yes, that's our other wonderful fundraising event. And Troup County is right behind us every year. That's done in conjunction with Joy FM on Commerce out the front of Chick-fil-A. And people bring either $10, a $10 gift card, or a turkey. And in return, they get a T-shirt. Okay. And last year, even the Joy FM team, because we're not a huge community compared to some of their other locations, but they were blown away by what we received. Over $5,000 just in cash.
In 2 hours.
In period. 2 hours.
That's right.
And we had a family who were Amish who drove from the other side of Atlanta.
Oh my.
Because they wanted their children to be involved and learn this. And that just touched my heart.
Absolutely.
When they turned up with about 6 kids carrying turkeys. Because they just wanted to teach their children the importance of giving. Yes.
Absolutely. Again, a testament to Salvation Army, the leadership there. And Lisa, definitely get that information back to us about the spring cleaning.
Definitely.
Because we want to make sure that we let the community know about it, and definitely all come out and continue to support the organization here in our community. Thank you for being my guest today as well,
Lisa.
Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week coming up in just a moment.
Here we are in the native city of LaGrange, Georgia. There's a lot of trash out here. But if we sneak up on it and pick it up, we can leave LaGrange better than we found it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining City Week this week. My guests have been from the Salvation Army. I had on Director Lisa Martin. And let me just stop and say there's a couple things that I meant to put in my interview. First of all, Lisa, if you don't mind, hold up your flag. Lisa became a U.S. citizen this week, and she's also celebrating her birthday Friday, March the 26th. So we just say happy birthday, Lisa, and also congratulations.
Thank you. God bless America.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed my interview with Lisa today. And by all means, look forward to that date coming out in May about the spring clear out sale so that we can go out and support the Salvation Army. I hope that you've enjoyed my interviews. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.